Are you ready? Can Crushers. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
This is your queen of chaos, Erin Harris, and I just wrapped my phenomenal, wonderful, bow-worthy episode on the Can Crushers podcast. And if you aren't lame and you decide to stick around and support my friends over here at Can Crushers podcast, make sure you go to their YouTube page, hit like, hit follow, and subscribe for all the future Can Crushers podcasts.
Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast, where we both got free beer this week, which is amazing. That's Sir Michael Jenks. I'm Mark the Mark. We have a lot to talk about, but free beer week.
We're crushing cans and taking names apparently this week for it.
Really, we're living to finally what we mean, Can Crusher.
Yeah. Yep. We've epitomized it. We are now in the headspace, guys.
We are. We really are. I want to tell you my story real quick about it. By the way, overall, good week, but what happened as of recording, like we record on Fridays, I took off today. I'm a couple in because I got free beer.
Nothing wrong with that.
So me and my son wanted to go, did a bite to eat, and we went up to this place about 45 minutes away, who puts chili sauce, their own chili sauce, on hamburgers, which makes the hamburger delightful. We turned into fat kids. We ordered them, by the way, because we brought the boys with us, too, for a nice little ride.
Nice.
We ordered 8 of them to bring home, and then the pups got some hamburgers as well, just plain. And as Ethan was digging through, he grabbed one to eat right off the bat. I'm not even going to lie. And I let him because I was driving. He was like, hey, I need a paper towel, napkin, whatever. I'm like, oh, there might be some in the glove box. What is this? It's a gift certificate. Oh, shit. I forgot I've had it forever that I won randomly. And it's in the same town. So I have now $50 of free beer coming to me, and we're a second away. He's like, are you going to stop and get this? I'm like, yeah. You're sure? Yeah, I'm going to stop and get this. So I walk in. The guy's like, oh, I was wondering who was gonna turn this in. It's been a while. I said, yeah, I won it a long time ago. I said, I just forgot I had it. I said, my son just found it in the glove box. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Hey, you don't have to take all $50 at once if you don't want. We can work with this. I said, I'm not an amateur here. So I get a case of Southern Tier, which everybody knows that listens to Can Crushers, along with Sir Michael Jenks, one of my favorite breweries out there. I'm happy with all that. That's just in the fridge for me to play and drink whenever I want. Then I'm looking for stuff, because why not try something if I like or I don't like, not on my dollar, right?
Good call.
So I see this, another 12-pack, Firestone. It's a California beer company. I've never heard of them before. There's a couple of them. You'll hear them out throughout the couple weeks probably. But the one I'm going to try tonight, Jenks, and there's more to this story, is called Union Jack. When I think of Union Jack right off the bat, I think of the British Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah. That's a good call.
So That's why I'll drink that. But then he's like, hey, you have like 47 something left. I'm like, oh. He's like, do you want to carry $2 and whatever cents over? I'm like, no. So I bought a 12-pack of Fat Tire, too, which is one of my favorites as well. Long story about Fat Tire. When I went back to school, we had a 5 to 6 hour break before we went back to another class every Monday. So at first it was just me go because I'm not going to drive back home.
Right.
To turn right back around to go to school. So I would do some homework. Hey, I'm going to go get some wings, and I'd have a beer. Well, a kid, all legal age, by the way. Somebody said, where do you go? I'm like, oh, I go down to this place. Oh, you mind if I come? I'm like, no, I get wings and a beer. I don't care.
Yeah.
So the first day, wings and a beer. Oh, you guys, where'd you guys go? Got wings and a beer. Oh, you guys, every Monday I go down around this time. Meet here if you don't have a class, yada, yada, yada. Da-ding, da-ding, da-ding. Well, the wings actually ended up leaving the whole concept then. And it just became from 3 till like 7 when we had a 7:30 class. It was beer time. I'm a bad influence. I've always been a bad influence. So we went drinking, and Fat Tire was always on tap, which is, yep, Jenks said it himself. I would just stick and stay with that. So once and I've had it recently. You know, I've been at school for a long time. I've had it, but it's different to bring it home now. Mm-hmm. You know, I've had it at clubs and bars and but I brought it home and I'm like, oh, this is so nostalgic right now that I'm having it, doing the podcast, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, this is the first beer. But I will be going over to Firestone. You know, how it is.
Yeah. Fat Tire, something. I will say it's great beer. It's fantastic beer. I will say I usually, when I get it, I can get it on tap at Plymouth, so every Tuesday, that's my hookup. It's either that.
One of the places.
Yeah. It's either that or going to, or getting like a Sam Summer or whatever the winter seasonal beer is. But man, Fat Tire, you can't beat it off draft. And in the can, bottle, whatever you get it, second to none. Second to none.
It really is. Like, if we could, well, if I know he's going to carry it, apparently I can make the trip up there every so often. We don't have it in our neck of the woods. So I would have to go it's like 45 minutes. It's really not an hour.
Yeah. But I'm surprised they don't have it in your neck of the woods, but I guess it's like pulling teeth for you to get beer there anyways. Some kind of beer.
Straubs. I mean, we have Straubs running into our houses.
Well, that's kind of in the backyard, isn't it?
It's
Straubs.
Really, yeah. Nothing against that. I'll nibble at that every once in a while. But listen, get ready. If you're from L County, I apologize. I've said this to many people. If it's not Straubs or Budweiser, you know, you might get a little bit crazy with Miller Lite.
Yeah.
This is not an IPA craft beer area at all.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's kind of like where I'm at in my town. The area I'm in, 100% is not craft area because a lot of the crowd in the neighbors, older generation.
Or 105.
They're retired community up here mostly, or they're nearing retirement. So there's a place, I'll get into my free beer extravaganza here in a second, but place by me, won't name names, they have it's literally in the back end of a plaza, the name's fitting it for it. They have beer out the ass, Miller Lite, Mick Ultra, whatever, all fresh as daisies. But then you get about halfway back, go right, and it starts getting into the craft stuff, and it goes into this cooler that leaks like a motherfucker. And it's got waterlogged and everything. And if you start looking at some of the beer, it's like 2021, 2020. It's aged. Oh, it's aged. Yeah. Good, perfected to a very flat can that you can literally press in the sides of because you know that's just the quality stuff there. So you can only get the fresh. The fresh stuff is your basic mainstream Bud and all that bullshit.
Yep.
So, but playing into that, my free beer, came. I didn't have to do anything, but I did stuff anyways for it. So my sister's friends, they hold a party every year for the 4th of July, go all out with their neighbors, all of that stuff. They have a big display. It's a huge thing. They put it on the news, put it on Facebook Lives and all that for people to watch fireworks. So, apparently they bought me beer Saturday. I was going to go to the party. I was going to be like, hey, show up, introduce Kimberly to some people. Well, my jackass decided, hey, you know what? This is a great day to do a bunch of shit around the house and then go to this thing. So 5 o'clock comes. She's like, you're on your own, bud. I'm tired as fuck. She's basically whooped, done, over with. She's tapped out. I'm like, all right, fine. So I go for a couple hours. Didn't know they had beers for me. Brought my own, hung out, sobered up, obviously, and then came back. And then I get a text from my sister, and she goes, hey, just a reminder, Thursday you're supposed to let out the dogs and all that because we're going to a concert. And I'm like, okay, yeah, great. She goes, also, my friend sent home beer for you. You were supposed to drink it at the party. And I go, well, I wasn't invited on this beer that they apparently had for me. And she's like, oh, yeah, they had it. It's in my fridge now. So I inherited a 6-pack of Yingling for my own consumption here to restock the beer fridge.
Nice.
The little beer space that I have in my fridge right now. So I'll take it. It's not as expensive. It's a win. It's not as expensive as the 50-pack, $50 worth that Mark's got going on over there, but a win's a win.
Win's a win. Rome wasn't built in a day, dude. You have to say, I called you dude. Oh, dude. My God.
Hi, bro. Okay, bro.
Baby steps in there. Do you want to go now? Do you want to go now and then we'll do hot topics in wrestling? Because I actually do have some hot topics in wrestling.
Yeah, we can go now.
People are like, Jesus Christ, we can't wait until next week when you're off and you have a pre-recorded special. Because we know you won't be talking about this anymore. That's a lie.
We're going to recap well, we got some busy weeks coming up here for the most part. Yeah, but we should just call this episode Dude, Where's My Wrestling? And
Dude,
just leave it at that. Where's my beer? But
Road to Glory looks so fucking good. To answer your question off air that you asked me, no, I didn't look at any team builder stuff, and
okay.
I didn't even notice that they put out anything about
it was supposed to be 4 days in a row, so I don't know if they did or it's coming out next week. But I know team builder is supposed to be coming out at some point.
I also watched. They had some content creators that were. This is how busy my day was. That's why I'm 6 beers in already. They let some content creators play a whole season of Road to Glory. And one actually started, because you can be elite, you could be good, you could go to backup, or you can go to your scrub. He picked a backup. He didn't go scrub. He picked backup, but he picked cornerback. And I wish I could shout out who it is. I don't remember. And he picked cornerback. So he was the 5th cornerback going into the year. By week 2, he was number 3. And then he just took the fuck off with all the builders and everything that he added and everything. Now listen, I'm still not playing Road to Glory Friday night at midnight. It's not happening. But there may be like around October, maybe a pause on the Dynasty, rip through Road to Glory real quick. Because once you get out of it, I know it's all repetitive before anybody comes at us. It gets,
Yeah.
But he played a whole season. They won the national championship. I know he was LSU. It was just so cool. The perks and stuff that you get as you're playing. And I'm like, holy shit. But then some people played some Dynasty too. I told you, a lot of TVs sitting today.
Hey.
So some people played some Dynasty too. And I agree. I agree with the guy that I watch. He's like, we all want to jump in and make our favorite team the best thing. He's like, that is cool. That's the Dynasty you want. He's like, but the way I'm doing a Dynasty, he's like, I'm looking at it as a coach. which that's what I'm doing. He's like, I want to start off at home bum university and then get wins to move on to Conference USA, to get wins to move on to this. He's like, my goal is to have Georgia because I'm from Georgia. He's like, as not ever coaching in college football, you don't get Georgia. That's my dynasty mode. He's like, if you want to stick and stay and watch it, cool. But here's season 1. And I think he was like Middle Tennessee State or something like that.
Yeah.
Got his ass rocked a lot. But I saw him progress and I'm like, yeah, that's what I fucking want to do. That's what I want to do. And it's so deep, Jenks. If you've not watched it, it is so deep. What they have told us is oh my God.
Well,
it's all over the place.
Fear that goes everywhere.
Union Jack, huh? It's not like I even shook it up.
It's coming back. I'm drinking cherry wheat right now, by the way.
By the way, it's absolutely delicious. It's absolutely delicious. But it's also now all over the podcast table. And a pit.
As it should, right?
Towel. Just so. It smells like that after it comes back from the game anyway, so. Might as well just. It's on the fucking calendar. Free beer this is what happens.
Let me ask you something real quick, though, because I just thought about it for college football. When he was doing his season, did you see the dynamic crowd kind of build out during it, or were you not paying attention to that?
I did.
Okay.
I did. And, it took him a few weeks to get a win. Okay. And he said he wasn't going to on this one because he recorded it down at EA, yada, yada, yada. But he's like, my goal is to create the old school conferences with the divisions.
Yeah.
Everything that I want to do. He's like, but I just want to show you everything that I can right now while I'm down at EA. He's like, I got 8 hours to do this, and then I have to go home and edit. Like, he gave me the whole kit and caboodle of why he was down there.
Right.
And you did see him a couple more come in, but I think he finished with only like 5 wins on the year. Like, he didn't make it to a bowl first, but he's like, look what I built off of. He got some more prestige under his thing, and first-year coach, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to Pitt or any. So that's my dynasty in my head.
It makes total sense.
At the end, he's like, you can just jump in with Georgia right now and make them win for 30 years. If that's how you want to play it how you want to.
Right. But that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never been one to jump into a dynasty mode and take the best team on the board or a team that makes the playoffs, because I think that's an easy build. You know exactly what they need to win. When you're looking at Kennesaw State or some bullshit like that, you don't know what you need. You can only make progress to improve it.
Right.
But you don't know exactly what you need and how to get it. And then you have to find out a way to keep it going, keep that build going and be successful with it. It's going to take time.
After the first year, though, then he went into the coaching carousel, essentially, and showed that after, like, the transfer portal is pretty legit, too.
Yeah.
Quick, it's not, like, timed quick, but it's, you have, like, 8 weeks of the off season, but the transfer portal only is, like, 3 weeks of that.
Yep. So it's real quick, real easy, and you can't get and there's times you're not going to get anybody.
Yeah. He went to the coaching carousel, and he already had offers to go to another school after 1 year as a DC or all 3 positions. He's like, but I want to get these guys to a bowl game. That's what I want to do. He's like, will I continue this one when the game comes out? I don't know. You'll have to stick and stay to my channel, of course. Teasing, which, of course.
Right.
But yeah, I'm telling you, it was like an hour and a half long, and it was the greatest movie I watched this week. I was just sitting there, and he probably knows college football better than us, because he was like, oh, this is Tom Jones, or this is Byron Saxton, or this is whomever. Like, he knew some people from Middle Tennessee State. I couldn't tell you anybody from it.
Oh, God, no.
Nor do I care.
No idea.
Not being mean to Middle Tennessee State, nor do I care.
Yeah.
So,
if you're not following them, what the fuck's the point?
I can't tell you half the people on Pitt. I root for Pitt because that's where I went to school. That's where I love Pitt. Yeah. And the transfer portal hit them hard. Hard.
It does, doesn't it? Always.
Hit hard. So that was my week. I will say one more thing. I also, before all of this came out, last weekend after I watched Money in the Bank that I already forgot happened last weekend, I watched a whole series on, I believe it was Tubi. Mary Kills People. It's a Canadian show that she's a doctor that does stuff with assisted deading or suicide or whatever you want to say.
Deading's nice.
Holy Christ, was that... It's good. It's from like 2017. I've never heard of it before. It just popped up on, hey, watch this. And I'm like, wow, let's see what this is about. It was fantastic.
You want a god-awful show that's probably not going to end for a while in my house?
What?
Kimberly's discovered Ghost Whisperer from CBS in 2005, 6.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's like 13 seasons long, too, I think.
Oof. Like, she'll be watching it, and I'm watching it with her, and I'm like, good fucking God. There's nothing good that comes out of this. It's corny. It's stupid. I don't even know. Don't even get me started on the fucking video intro promo thing.
You've watched a few episodes with her, then, I'm guessing, huh?
I have, because I usually try some. Sometimes she hits. You know, some shows she hits on. Some, they're just hilarious enough that I have to make fun of while I'm watching it, so I'll stay. Like, she found one called The Baxters on Amazon Prime, and if you like it, good for you, but it's very religious, and, you know, I have beliefs around that, but at the same time, I can be very much objective about how terrible the show is.
Right.
It was so bad I could make fun of it, but it was watchable. And it has Jefferson from Married with Children as the dad.
Oh, okay.
So it already lost me with that fucking casting choice, so the third season, the one girl ends up with HIV somehow. It's like a whole thing. It's like they fucked her life over, basically. So, whatever. Anyways, this one's just god-awful. So, there's nothing good going on in this house right now, show-wise. And I'm too much invested in Red Dead Redemption in my video games to find a new show.
Well, because I almost bought one of those Ambernick things, essentially a handheld emulator this week.
Oh, I've seen those, yeah.
On TikTok, and I'm like, oh man, this is really awesome. I can take this to work and do non-work stuff, but more non-work stuff. Then I'm like, hey, idiot. You wouldn't do anything with this as soon as it comes in.
Yeah. Why buy it?
So I saved like $150, and I'm like, oh, maybe this is something to revisit down the line.
Yeah.
I have $70 invested into next Friday. The only thing that matters right now.
Yeah. I agree. That's the only thing. That's the light at the end of the tunnel right now for the next week is next Friday being off, playing NCAA football. My experience was the gameplay mode trial that they put out there. It was like 20 minutes in length. Loved watching it. Loved what they were explaining on it. And then I saw Road to Glory. The fucking you can fail out, gets banned and suspended.
Yep. Because
of your fucking GPA. You have to have a 2.0 or above, like normal colleges, even though we know they don't do that.
They do.
Okay. But yeah, you can get suspended. You need to build your brand. You have to do X, do Y to try to survive. That one's going to be really good. But Dynasty, it's game, play now.
Yep.
Then Dynasty.
Yep.
And then
we'll talk about this in a couple months, probably.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yep.
Honest engine, probably a couple months.
Yeah. Yep.
There was one other thing that I wanted to bring up before we got to what this podcast is about. But it slipped my mind. So
this podcast is about NCAA football. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Besides beer just leaking all over my notes for my next Spotlight. By the way, if you have not listened to this past week's Spotlight with the Queen of Chaos, Aaron Harris, we become friends. We really do. So that's a bonus. I was really sus, as the kids say, if you would like hanging out on Can Crushers, but we bonded over some things. It's a great podcast, and I will reveal this coming weeks as well. There is a new indie wrestling movie in the works, and it's called Whoop Ass. The guys from Whoop Ass come on. We talk about the movie that's in the works. If you want to help out, all that stuff, and the links will be in the show notes when it comes out. And you want to know their star of Whoop Ass, Jenks?
Who?
Mr. Anderson!
Kennedy!
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And a few other people that have been on this show are also making appearances in Whoop Ass. So that'll be out Wednesday. Make sure you give that a listen, a like, give them a follow, because it's fun. It's a short little one to help them promote. Jenks, I think we might get a part in it now. We just have to go to Indiana.
Oh.
Not Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Indiana.
Yeah.
Do we have to go to Erie, Indiana?
They didn't give the exact town. I know the exact town, but I don't know if they want to give the exact town yet.
Fair enough.
But we're invited. I think. So I'm excited.
I think.
If not, I invited myself. That's for real. Hey, from Forbidden Door to the PC, huh?
Yeah, that was didn't take long, did it?
Kind of bummed. Well, I'm excited about it because I think her and Julia will do some sweet ass stuff together, and I think she's going to rock NXT. But do you think Tony dropped the ball on Stephanie, or there's some rumors that her and Roosh have a past, and not like that they're dating?
Just yeah.
It's a past.
My thoughts on it is not. My guess is it's more Tony didn't want to burn bridges with the promotions involved, so he didn't make the move. Or he was being respectful about the way he did it. Because the way everything has transpired, this seemed very out of the blue, very out of nowhere. Everything was dropped, and she's gone. Yeah. Like a flash in the pan. So it's telling me that maybe WWE just came right in and said, you know what? We saw what you can do. We saw what you did against Mercedes. It's time to bring her. Let's throw everything we can at her. And I think Tony Khan was playing I have business relationships. I can't exactly fucking jump and pull her away.
Yeah, because he'd probably lose stuff with CMLL.
Yeah. And he was probably trying to negotiate dates, think of ways to do this so that he can get her to him. And it just wasn't working out. But it's still a drop ball, no matter how you break it down. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks since Forbidden Door.
Yeah. Maybe she had talks with WWE prior to Forbidden Door and losing anything that she had in CMLL, that she's like, I'll go to Forbidden Door, get that payday, because I'm sure it was a nice payday, and then not do anything for 7 days and say, hey, I signed. See ya. Bye.
Goodbye.
Good for her. Because I'm excited to see her. Nothing against CMLL. We don't get it. Right? We wanted to see her more on AEW because we didn't think that possibility of going to WWE was going to happen because there's a tie.
Yeah.
We're going to get her more in the States, which is amazing.
Well, I think that speaks to two things. It's the tie is only between the brands, not the contractors included, right? The wrestlers included.
The independent workers.
The independent workers. They're not in that. They're not that loyal. They're there to collect what they know, do what they said, and two, it's probably, and I saw this floating around. It's a lifelong passion of hers. She gets into wrestling probably because of WWE,
right?
And what it was. Because it's an international brand, AEW wasn't a thing when it was around. So WWE comes knocking. It's a dream.
Call up WWE. We'll come knocking too.
Yeah. You'll walk right through that door and say, bye. I'll be there in a heartbeat. It's kind of, I laughed a little bit because she beat Tessa Blanchard on the way out. Didn't put over her or anybody. And then it just kind of blew up in everybody's faces at that point. Right, wrong, and different things happen, but at the end of the day, you take advantage of what you know, and you take advantage of what you want to do. And if your goal is to get to WWE, you're going to take it.
Check. She did it.
Check and see ya.
I think about a year and a half down in NXT, to give her a name and get her goods to go, essentially. Main roster, and she's gonna soar.
Oh yeah.
If the booking's correct, I know I hate saying it that way. If the booking's correct, because we were going nuts over her.
Well, here's the thing: you having her and Julia start at the exact same time. It's going to get very muddy down there very quickly with who's going to excel and who's not. I will say, though, in no disrespect to the women that are down there right now, none of them are leaping off the page as the next big thing, outside of maybe Roxy, who is the prodigy.
Right.
So this is setting up perfectly for two foreign entities, two foreign commodities to come in, take over the company from what Roxy was doing, headline, do what they need to do, build it up going forward.
Yeah. And that's what NXT does so well.
Yep.
Shout out to Sean doing amazing stuff down there.
Yeah.
Another free agent on the market, CJ Perry / Lana, contract done in AEW. Doesn't want to do any more in-ring stuff. Thank God.
Nobody wanted her to do any more in-ring stuff.
Right.
Like, just stay outside.
After a couple of drinks, this has kind of like a nutty taste of this Union Jack. It's a nice Indian pale ale, but there's a little bit of something else in it. I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean,
talking about Lana.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't have much to say about Lana.
Good.
Well, she's not. Yeah.
Not breaking down NXT Heat Wave the whole way. I love that Ethan Page is champion for one reason, but I want to hear what you say first.
I love the way he won the championship.
Agree, yeah.
I do like that he won it as well, but I love the way that they had him win it, and then it kind of was just like, oh, fuck, that's disappointing. At the same time, it's also like, fuck yeah, Ethan Page is getting the spotlight that he deserved in AEW, and now he's getting it in NXT, which I didn't even know he signed a contract, so I don't know. I didn't know he officially signed a contract, I should say.
Right, I don't know he did yet.
So did they just say, well, you're here and you're working some dates, here's a little title for you.
Well, because, do you want my caveat?
Do it.
Is going to be your next champion. And you believe in him.
I don't doubt that, to be honest. He's everywhere now. They saw it. They're like, we got to sign him.
Yep.
Now he's a mystery. Now he's the mystery tag partner. He's involved in it. Shows up right after the main event in a picture.
Right?
Probably, yeah. If he's not signed yet, I'm assuming it's only a matter of time.
I would believe nothing against Ethan Page. He's hanging on my wall right here when he was with Josh Alexander when they were the North and had the TNA championships and the IWC championships together. I had both of one belt on my shoulders. I love them. I've even liked Ethan fighting the Ninja himself. Mm-hmm. I love him. I really do. You could build so much with Joe Hendry being champion of NXT, even if it's for a month. Yeah. Even if it's for a couple days, just to say that. If Page doesn't have a contract, he's a veteran enough that he knows how to work whatever he needs to work. Joe is a veteran too, but he's new to us, and everybody loves him. So he's still a rookie, air quotes. I think that allure is right there with him in NXT doing this. And I'm glad that the cross-branding is sticking with just NXT and it's not making its way to the main roster. The main roster's got not way too much because we're loving it right now, but they have enough going on. Yeah. You muddy it up with TNA, then it kind of makes it a takeover.
Invasion angle, yeah.
Yeah. Don't need that now because you can clearly see that they're working together because Kiana James showed up for
Jordan Grace's title match. No Quarter Catch Crew showed up in TNA facing their I can't remember who they were facing, but they showed up there as well. So it's definitely a work. The Rascals showed up, which undertones in that whole thing too.
Right.
With that, showing up in NXT. It's one of those things where this is a solid working relationship where it's give and take. We'll take some of your guys or we'll give you some of ours.
Or it's one entity working as two, which I still think, because there was discussion. I really think maybe it was a closed door thing.
I feel like with it being a publicly traded company, they'd have to announce.
They would.
But to
works.
I was just going to say, I bet you, to your point, it's in the works or the details need to be finalized at some point. And really, this is the trial run to bring people in to see, hey, would the crowd react to X? Would they react to Y? They're not going to bring in a Moose to it because Moose is your world champion and people are going to react whether he shows up here, there, everywhere.
Yeah, you're not bringing Nick Nemeth back.
You're not bringing Nick Nemeth back. Too big of a name because he goes straight to the main roster. Moose, I think, would go straight to the main roster. He wouldn't even dabble in NXT at that point.
Right.
Jordan Grace has been main roster NXT, probably main roster for her. It's the line that they're trying to establish here is, who do you know from TNA? Who are you going to get excited from in the mid-undercard perspective of it?
That are main card in NXT.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be fun.
Last one I have, and I completely agree, it's long overdue, but the way that Bayley spun it makes perfect sense. It's time for another Evolution because it is now a different era from Evolution 1 to Evolution, if it would be next year. Completely different era. You could have Rhea Becky as your main event if that's what you want in it, but you'd be bringing in the likes of some independents or your NXTs. Showcase Hollywood Haley James. Showcase a CC Young that was just on a show, or an Aaron Aris in some of the early matches. showcase Xia Brookside.
Yes.
That was in NXT UK, floated, didn't do much over here, now is lingering in TNA. You have all that workings.
Yep.
It could be an amazing cross-branded show if that's what we're sticking with. But it really, I mean, and no knock on the 4 Horsewomen.
Yeah.
They don't need to be in it. I hate to say it.
Well, here's the thing: we are now 9 years into the Horsewomen's reign since the last Evolution. That's great. They've dominated and they've kind of crafted something magical in those 9 years, but they're moving on out. Bayley is legitimately the last standing Horsewoman. I know Charlotte's going to come back at some point, but when's that going to be? Right? Is it next month? Is it in 2 months? And how long will it be? Will it be for 3 weeks, months? You know what I mean? She's part-time at this point. Becky, gone. She's doing her own motherly things, doing her book and all that. Mercedes is in NXT, bringing some relevancy to that division.
AEW, you mean?
AEW, sorry.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe I said that. But in AEW, bringing some relevancy to that division as well. And you can come at me for saying that, but again, it's one of those things where you have that big name branded power drawing people to what it needs to be.
Yeah.
So now there needs to be a renaissance. We can speculate it's Jade, Bianca, Rhea, Liv if you want to as the next, but is it truly, or are they a byproduct of both eras where they ended the first one, but really they're ushering in what the next one could be.
Yeah, you're right. It is the Tiffies. It is that next level of making it, and that's why you need another Evolution right now. Mm-hmm. I completely agree with Bayley.
Yep, agreed.
Those were my hot topics. Do you have any?
I really wanted to cover we're talking about the signings. What? That's fine. Well, that too. But the signings, talk a little bit about NXT, but we covered that with the Rascals and all of that stuff and Heat Wave and things of that nature. So I'm ready for wrestling talk. Just Money in the Bank and
was 3 months ago.
Money in the Bank that felt like it was 3 months ago, but was 6 days ago. And
there was a lot this week.
The shit that has happened on all shows.
Yeah.
This was a fantastic fucking week for professional wrestling.
Great week for free beer.
Oh, yeah.
Ready? Super fast. Collar and elbow. The promo code is Can Crushers. Capital C and Can, capital C and Crushers. You'll save 10%.
Go to the affiliate code in the show links. Click on the link. You may get a discount, you may not, but click on it. Support us now.
Don't forget, we have merch over at CrowdMade as well. Check it out. Type in Can Crushers. You'll see all our cool shit.
Mark loves Dubby. That's 100% accurate. Go get your Dubby today. We have a promo code. It's Can Crushers. Get some Dubby for your energy today.
Join our discussions on Facebook, Instagram, and X for all the cool stuff. Drop us some DMs if you have us any questions, or at cancrusher69@gmail.com. We'll answer them on the air.
You can listen to us on the air on a variety of podcasting platforms except for Google, because that's gone now. And you can also listen to us on YouTube. Just the picture that you see on the weekly thumbnail, but you can listen to us on YouTube as well.
Yeah, do all that cool stuff. Save some money for yourself if you're buying anything, and you help us by supporting us, which is unbelievable, so thank you.
Yep, thank you. One other way you can contact us, Gmail, cancrushers69@gmail.com. Send us a lovely email or call us on the hotline nobody uses, 814-299-6687. We love your voices. Use them.
Touche. We come back, we're going to start with Money in the Bank and WWE.
This is the B to the C to the S to the T to the double E-L-E, Benjamin C. Steele, Mr. Steele if you're nasty. Ladies, remember, none of you can be first, but a whole bunch of you can be next. You're listening to the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast, and if you're not, you are the worst part of society. If you are, share it with a friend, because as good as it is that you're listening, it's even better if more people listen. So do it.
Welcome back to Can Crushers, folks. It's Mark, it's Mike, and we're going to jump into WWE. So we'll touch on SmackDown, which happened right before Money in the Bank. Jenks, we have new tag team champions.
We do. DIY did it themselves.
Now, I'm excited for them. Okay?
Yeah.
I really am. Grayson and Theory's run at tag championships fucking sucked. Possibly one of the worst.
Absolutely the worst. They did nothing of relevance.
They got the title, and this isn't mean. They got the titles early in the match, and then they started a feud with themselves.
Mm-hmm. They haven't done anything.
Which are the better again, they got the nicer titles.
Yeah.
I'm mad about that they were the first champions now with the new nicer titles.
Because they did absolutely nothing with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they had this long feud with DIY. They have been having it.
Yeah,
so
but
it wasn't, there was no meat and potatoes around it.
No. It was literally hanging on them to hang it on them.
Yeah. To say, hey, these kids are good, but we don't know what to do with them.
We don't know what to do with them because we don't want to do too much with them because they're going to be our single stars of the future.
Yeah. We can't do too much with them. Then it's
But that's exactly it. They could not do too much to jeopardize their future. They didn't want to jeopardize them.
So why fucking put them together?
That's
all I got on SmackDown.
That's all I got. I can't even answer your question. There's just no way.
Yeah. So we get the Money in the Bank, and thank God the title wasn't on the line. Congratulations, you won. But you won late, by the way.
Mm.
We sucked.
Yeah, we were not great.
We were not great whatsoever. I'll tell you the ones we got right. The Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
I think 99% of America got the Bloodline right.
Yeah.
I went with Chelsea because I love Chelsea. And I said, but I'll be okay if Tiffy wins. So I'm not mad about it, and we'll get into all of that. The other ones, well, we weren't fucking close.
No, we weren't fucking close. We were off by a mile. But to our defense in the men's, what we thought would happen happened later.
Right. I got on X as watching this live. Jenks did not watch it live, so don't give him shade, but he did watch it. And I was talking with somebody then. I don't remember who. Somebody again. I should write down names, but I'm insignificant right now. I said I got most of my picks wrong, but I'm happy that I got most of my picks wrong because it was entertaining as all hell.
Yeah. It was a good pill to swallow because it was so entertaining.
Yeah. On the flip side, if we're talking about wrestling, there's probably only two good things I liked about this whole show. And they both had a ladder in it.
Yeah. The ladder match carried the show. Ladder matches carried the show.
And the women stole the show.
Well, the women's ran away with it, and that was it.
Yeah. Good thing they didn't put the women on first.
Because they knew because it would have been just downhill from there.
Yeah. You would have had to then do the women and then the men. If they would have did the women then the men and not the rest of this card pan out, I think people would have turned it off.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I just said, I know you guys are like, you just said 5 minutes ago it was entertaining. It was, but for other reasons than wrestling.
Right. there's a lot more going on around it to support the wrestling, but the wrestling itself, we'll get there.
We'll get to the one that everybody's on. So the men's Money in the Bank. We both had Jay winning.
We got yeeted out.
He got impaled with a ladder.
Impaled with a ladder. Hey, at least we got Michael Cole yeeting at the beginning.
He did. Crazy bumps, and I'll start with the spots where somebody's leg gets stuck and they do something. Then the Gable one is what I'm talking about. Where he's staying there, and then Carmelo just drops a leg on him. Dude, those scare the Christ out of me. They really do. Like, if his leg doesn't come loose and he turns it another 30 degrees when he's unlocking himself, he's locking it even deeper.
Yeah.
And his knee's going to end up in the middle of the ring, and the rest of his body is on the mat.
Yeah.
I don't like those. I have never liked those.
It's one of the men's has taken a turn where they have to do these dangerous spots involving submission moves to make it look to bring the value to it, right? So they feel like they have to do the fucking arm bar through a ladder with a leg drop coming off from Andrade. Yeah. So much can go wrong in so little time.
Yeah.
They're just taking the risk of just disjointing body parts for the sake of, well, we've done everything else, so we need to do this. But fact check, you haven't done everything else, because when the women showed up, they were fucking doing everything you should have been doing. Sorry.
The men in the WWE ladder matches are trying to keep up with two other matches. One, have it be the women in their own company.
Yeah.
In AEW's death matches, essentially, that involved anything with a ladder.
But on the flip side of that, we got to bring this into it. They're also putting in main event stars into this match who don't necessarily or should not necessarily be doing crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
To win it. So that limits you. Drew is not going to do something off the ladder.
Anytime he was on the ladder was bending.
Yeah. It didn't have any support. It looked like them flimsy-ass ladders that they had a couple weeks ago at Forbidden Door. So they're not going to do anything with Drew. They're not going to do anything with the Jay, even though Jay could be flying around the ring doing stupid shit in that. It's just, it's one thing after, it's how you hit it and how you do it.
I can say that as soon as Drew won, I knew the cash-in was coming.
Yeah.
If Jay would have won, I don't think there was a cash-in. Like, we didn't talk about cash-ins last week, and shame on us. But we didn't have Drew there. We had him taken out by Punk in this match.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say, when I saw it was first, I'm like, you can fucking win this. And then to your point, if he wins it, it's going to happen tonight. But
when it happened tonight, a little foreshadowing, it was holy fuck given away from the first second that match started.
Oh, yeah, because they were not going for it at that point.
No. They were looking for
him. Exactly. They kept watching, which can be a good piece of storytelling, too. They know he's coming. They know he's going to cash in. When's it going to happen? Da-da-da-da-da. But when you get later on in the match and shit starts going awry, it got pretty blatantly obvious at that point.
Let's just jump to it. We're going to take this.
Yeah, we might as well.
So the world title is the main event, essentially. No, it's not. It's
the third match.
Yeah. My notes.
You're good.
Priest and Seth. It started quick, but then it did die down.
It died
They
down a
started
lot.
peaking.
Yeah.
Drew comes in, cashes in. And when the cash-in happened, Jenks, did you know CM Punk was around the corner within 5 minutes?
I kind of had an inkling.
I did too. And it soured me.
It soured me too, because then it's like, oh my God, when's Punk cashing in? What's it going to be? How's it going to end the match? How's it going to do this?
The match already ended prior to the cash-in, by the way, as well.
Well, which was another whole point that they were trying to put across at the end, that I thought, this doesn't make any sense. Why is this still... The stipulation should have been gone when Drew entered the match. It made it a triple threat.
Right.
But then they were carrying it through as a story plot for Punk and Rollins whenever that time comes for them to face each other. Which, okay, fine, but at the same time, like my notes have gone from when it started with that botched 3 count,
yep,
all the way through.
I think Priest was knocked out. And
I think he was too. Yeah.
But I also think, because that is the time that Drew is going to be coming, I think that's on production.
I think they were supposed to hit the music when he was going for 3.
Yeah.
So I think it was I don't know, maybe Priest wasn't knocked out because Priest was like, oh, the music should be playing now.
Right.
And that's not what happened. But then there's a lot of expletives in my notes, and then I hate that I just wrote I hate, and I hated the way it ended.
Yeah.
The cash-in made sense. The Punk entering made sense to cost Drew. I think for me it was more, I really thought Rollins should be winning this because I wanted Rollins Gunther at SummerSlam, not Gunther Priest.
Right.
And I think that's where
that's where both
Sunday morning revulsion was coming from.
Yeah. I think you hurt Priest with some technicalities on this match. And I think you hurt Priest when he gets decimated by Gunther at SummerSlam.
Yep.
That's not a prediction, that's a promise.
Yeah. He's going to get obliterated.
So we're already looking at this title reign as anyway. Throw in these 2 things, you're like, oh yeah, he was champion at one time.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I say this about this? This is my last point on this match. I do, though, love that this briefcase is now gone for a year. I think it was a smart decision because in the long game, you have Gunther in the title hunt, you have Punk, Drew, you have Seth on SmackDown, you have Cody, Solo, Roman at some point, maybe Rock, depending on what direction they go with there. There's so much to the world title picture right now that it is so robust and there's so many players in it. There's just not an opportunity to try to sneak in a Money in the Bank type thing. Andrade. Exactly. So with Drew taking it and they deciding to use this as a plot point to further that rivalry, I think it was a smart play here. It was your best play with what you had built up.
I think we both said about a month ago or so, this can't be a long Money in the Bank hold. I don't know if it needed to be the same night. That's where my head still is. I don't know if it needed to be the same night. I think essentially Punk screwing Drew out of the Money in the Bank, giving it to maybe an Andrade or a Jay for right after SummerSlam trying to cash in, and then he gets decimated by whatever one he picks, Have it be he's going back against Cody, and Cody hits one crossroads on him, pins him. They shake hands. They're like, "Hey, you tried something."
Right.
I too much around Drew and Priest made it a little.
It did make it, and I think at the end of the day, for me, it's more. I think it hurt. It pushed Drew further over the edge, storytelling wise.
Right.
To have him win it, think he's going to be on the top of the world again, and just for it to come crashing down, and then it hurts inside. So now it's basically you burned it to the ground with him.
Literally.
You've literally burned it to the ground with him, and he's throwing people around, interrupting post shows.
I was going to say he got suspended that night.
He did. It was the exact thing that lit the fire to throw just throw it into overdrive.
Right. I completely agree. We're on the same page. Yeah. We're just getting there. So next match is IC Championship Sammy against Breaker. And I'll throw in Monday as well with Breaker. They listened to last week's episode. Because I wrote it in my notes, and I know this because I'm not on my Raw notes, but I wrote it in my notes. All right, I like Breaker all of a sudden. It took 2 matches, and you were right. You told me last week they're going to make this a little bit better, but then Mondays was the caveat for it to make Breaker. All right, he doesn't run 53 miles an hour and just spears people and kills them, and that's it. This match was the lead to that, and I really liked it.
I did. I hated that Braun didn't win it, though.
Yes.
Here's the problem I had. I love that Sammy, they're playing the underdog card. That's great. But when you're 5 minutes into the match and he's on spaghetti legs and it's looking like it's a fucking demolition derby, to only have him somehow win off a one haluva kick.
Right.
That immediately, it throws bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
With Gunther, he wasn't necessarily on spaghetti legs. He was still fighting back. He was still kind of sure-footed. He was just taking shot after shot. And then he hit the big move. With Braun, it seemed, I literally wrote, the first thing I wrote, glorified squash match, I think. He's on spaghetti legs. And then he's just, Braun's hitting Frankensteiners. He's doing this. He's doing that. It was a showcase match. Just give the man the title.
They could have done the Braun Dragunov match the same way on Monday night.
Yeah.
Sammy could have had that same promo Monday night with a spin of, sad, I'll get it back. And then Braun comes out and decimates him, but Dragunov comes out to save him. That all could have still happened to have that next great match that Braun had.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. 100%.
It just didn't make any sense with what they were trying to do.
No. There's going to be triple threat now between these three, right?
And there has to be. And then you're going to tell me Sammy loses it in the triple threat somehow.
Right.
But again,
without losing it.
But again, do not walk that line. Dragunov is a shit power. Well, he's not the shit brick house that Breaker is, but he is still a fucking ace in the hole when you need him.
Yeah. Yeah. For so much more down the line.
Yeah.
Wasn't in Hot Topics because we were going to get it here because it's a year away, a year plus away. Cena 2025 will be his last year. And I did stay up to what he took 30 minutes of the press conference afterward, by the way. I watched it. Just answer questions and he wants back on every pay-per-view.
Yeah. Which he deserves. You should get it.
I'm excited for what we're going to get in the next year. I don't want him to have fucking 12 victories next year, though.
think he's getting 12 victories. I think he's going to have a run.
Does he get the title?
I think he does. I think, spoilers, I think he's your Royal Rumble winner. He wins the Rumble and gets the title shot at Mania, wins it at Mania, and then he gets a run. It's either, well, you know what? No, I'll take that back. He's going to lose the Rumble. He's going to win Chamber because he specifically called out, I'm going to enter the Royal Rumble one last time. I'm going to enter the Chamber one last time. So he's entering the Chamber too. So you need to win the Chamber to win the title shot.
Right.
And there's no bigger title shot than John Cena going for 17 versus...
You want to be the person to lose it to Cena. Now.
You want to be, and now it's come the best person to lose it to Cena, maybe the guy that is just a nightmare.
Right. Right? That's exactly where my mindset went to.
If it's not him, then it is the Viper. Because he's ready to strike on the American Nightmare.
I don't think you're going to get Cena against a lot of the upcomers that are going to be the pillars.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get Cena Gunther, if that's what you're clamoring for. I don't think you're going to get Cena Breaker.
I think you're going to get one of them, because it's going to be his last match.
And then he loses.
He loses to one of them.
I'll give you that. So that's in December, or whatever. But
it's
a year away.
It's a year away. I'm thinking Breaker right now just because Breaker's that hot new prototype.
Touche. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because this question came up. There's no more saving Flair in the WWE. This will be broken next year.
Oh, 100%. Trips is making it very clear this is getting broken.
This is the number one wrestler ever with 17 titles.
They started calling him the GOAT 3 years ago for a reason.
Right. The 17 championships have only been held in the WWE, not 10 here, 5 there, 14 here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flair still has a link to the WWE. And I'm not saying they want to erase it. They want to clear it. Two different things.
They want to...
Go ahead.
Well, clear it, but put their mark on it. Because It's a lot different if you say 17 WWE world titles versus 16 world titles.
Yep. That's where I was going.
Yep.
So, and Cena is their product, not Jim Crockett's or Vern Gagne's or
whoever
on Eric's product. We get to the women's Money in the Bank because we went over Seth and Drew already. Well, first and foremost, I fucking hated that Chelsea was afraid of heights, so I knew she was not winning. But by the way, I'll call it out. I think it was Lance Storm inspired gear that she had on.
Yeah.
Because her and Lance, not a past, but trained and da-da-da-da. Also, shout out to Canada. Holy fuck. Her table bump at the end scared the shit out. Like, it scared the shit out of me.
Well, it scared the shit out of me, but I was like, oh my god, that was the most graceful table bump I've ever seen in my life. Right. Like, I was in amazement. But then there was the Wile E. Coyote cam, as it's been called, view of it. Have you seen this?
Yes.
Where she literally has to move over like a foot and 3 feet to hit the table square on.
In air.
In air. Like, I'm like, how the fuck do you do that in midair? Just shift your body through those tables.
Well, my craziest bump Io and Zoe. How do you convince Zoe to do this?
It was probably her idea.
Just spike my head from 10 feet above a ladder onto another ladder.
Zoe was doing some crazy shit throughout the match. So, to me, getting a Michinoku driver on a fucking ladder had to have been her idea. Like, there's just no way. I would not be convinced of that.
Not at all.
Unless it came from my stupid ass head and I couldn't get it out of it. And I'm not calling Zoe stupid ass. I'm just saying, my dumb ass would be like, yeah, you know what would be great? Drive my head through that fucking metal ladder.
Yeah. That might be the aha moment, oh my god moment of the year. Like that inches, meters, whatever you want to say, away from what we don't know. And I'm glad we don't know.
Yeah. We'll call this spade a spade early on. The women, there were some botches early. I think it was jitters, nervousness, just trying to get things worked out. Once they got past, I think the last one was like when Zoe went for the springboard thing and she hit her head instead of actually hitting a move.
Yeah.
Once we got past that, everybody was firing on all cylinders.
They were. In the scheme of it, the Naomi split DDT was cool, but not what happened like after or anything. I'm like, oh my god. But it was cool. And unprettier, sort of, kinda, on the ladder was like, holy shit. Like, this was just stupid crazy in a good way for the women. Like, again, they brought it.
It reminded me of stupid crazy shit that the men would do in the Money in the Bank ladder matches to win. That's literally what it is. I was dying at the beginning when Chelsea was trying to jump up for the title, throw the ladder at the title. I knew it was the comedy bit, but it worked out fine. And then she's yelling at people left and right. Little did I know that was going to be maybe a lower light than what transpired after that.
Yeah. Tiffy, though, just making it work. Kudos. Shout out to Tiffy. Thank you. Really like Tiffy this week, by the way. Just, I don't know, maybe a picture came my way or something.
Maybe. It's your Tiffy time right now.
I am Tiffy time. Then we get to the main event. And Jenks, this is better than I thought it was going to be, actually. It was still exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Exactly, but it was good, and it sold Jacob Fatu as the fucking destroyer.
In Clown Posse himself.
I was shocked they went for the DDT spot that early, but not when he's no-sold it.
Yeah. That was unbelievable. Boom, gets up and stands there. I'm like, oh, we just got a rocket under his ass.
Yeah. We now understand what we are actually dealing with him.
Yeah. He is not just super crazy.
He's built like
resilient as well. Yeah,
the Samoan head is extra thick on this one.
It is. That is taking people out for Randy. By the way, the Tigers game froze. Oh, it's 3-0. They win, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're beating the Dodgers is probably why it froze. They're like, we got to fix this up here. Can we get a rain dance to end this game?
What's your rank? I'll go first. I always say, what's your ranking?
Go
ahead.
We have to say this. The Tonga giving a prostate exam instead of a low blow, I think we have to kind of call this out. We can't let this slide.
Yeah. What the fuck was he doing?
Come on. And then he got too excited. Then he popped, what's his name, right in the head. Fucking Tama Tonga right in the head when he did the second time.
Was that, this is going to sound horrible, was that too big of a moment for him?
That's what I don't know. I don't know if he maybe was trying to overprotect Tama because he didn't know where Tama's head was going to be, or maybe he just got nervous. I mean, it happens, or maybe it's because he hit his head pretty bad earlier in the night. He hit his head earlier in the match, and it probably fucking rocked him. So maybe he was seeing like double Kevin Owens and didn't know what the hell he was.
Four nuts Owens.
4 nuts Owens, and went for the no nut part of the body. I don't know, but anyways,
my ranking for it is a 3 because it did what it needed to.
Yeah.
But as we both said, and this isn't a knock on it, we forgot it was Saturday already. We forgot it was 6 days ago, or as you guys are listening, a week ago.
Yeah.
We thought it was 2 weeks ago. Like, why do I still have Money in the Bank notes in my notes?
Exactly. I think 3 is adequate. 3 works for it. And really, it's a 3 because of the women. That match carried the show for me.
Yeah. The only thing you'll remember moving forward from this until Tiffy cashes in is that Tiffy won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see, and you guys have probably already seen it, the briefcase that she fucking Tiffy'd up.
It should be pink.
Right? With her.
It's gotta be pink.
So we get to Raw, and continuing everything, Punk starts the show off. Drew has been suspended. Congratulates, shifts to Drew. Wants Pierce to not have him suspended. Rollins comes out, and I put right then and there, FYI, this is your WrestleMania match.
Yeah. Because Drew and Punk are probably next 3 to 4 months. And then you got to do something with Punk and Rollins are going to build it for the next 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Without a title.
Without the title. Because you notice that they were friendly. We'll leave it that way. They were friendly enough that they're like, I shouldn't have done what I done, da-da-da-da-da. Well, when I take care of my business, I'll come after you. It's all the foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the foreshadowing to say, hey, boom. Because, oh, wait, maybe this could have been this year's Mania match, but there was an injury.
Yeah.
Because didn't Punk get Rollins all wound up the night that he returned last year? It's a money match.
It is.
Needs to only be on Mania. If they do this dirty and put it on Roadblock or in Saudi, no.
Yeah. It's not going to happen. It will not happen until Mania.
I don't think.
Punk's pretty much locked in stone with Drew through Bad Blood, and we know Bad Blood, well, I'm going to say it, we know Bad Blood's going to be a Hell in a Cell match.
You would think, right?
I mean, they keep hyping it up. 20th anniversary, or whatever anniversary of the first Bad Blood pay-per-view in 97. That was the first Hell in a Cell match. They're gonna put Punk and Drew inside of there.
Yep. That's the baddest blood you have right now in the WWE, right?
100%. That is the strongest, most vile hatred going on in the WWE right now.
Yeah. Even though some people say, well, don't forget about the bloodline. That's going to be War Games.
Bloodline. It is Bloodline, but I got confused for some reason. Maybe I need to stop drinking right now. But the Bloodline, Blood Games, Bloodline's at War Games.
Yeah.
That has to be the War Games match.
We would think. All Judgment Day stuff. We'll just encapsulate stuff from here on out. Dom wasn't me. Did you think of Shaggy right off the bat?
Yeah. It wasn't me, yeah.
Wasn't me. Like you
wasn't
said,
me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Did you catch her banging on the sofa? Wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Did you catch her banging in the ring? Wasn't me.
If nobody's made that a meme yet, because I've been lackadaisical this week on social media. Get ready. I might have another beer spill. No.
It's not too bad. Okay.
Not too bad. This one is the Mind Haze from Firestone, by the way. It's only
okay.
6.2.
Let's stop. Union Jack was good?
Was good. Yeah.
Okay.
Was good. It was a Indian Pale Ale. I liked it. There was a lot of different flavors going on. I like this one. This is a hazy Indian Pale Ale.
Okay.
I'm not going to be a dick, Firestone. This just tastes like a watered down version of that.
Every time he says, I'm not going to be a dick, he's being a dick.
Oh, yeah, clearly. There's not much taste different. Beer Before Glory is their thing for this one. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I've had way too many, but that's good too. But to the whole Dom stuff and Liv stuff and everything, once you heard Priest on the phone, man, I didn't want Rhea back yet. It's not being mean. I like Rhea. I do.
Yeah.
It's not, I think there could have been more to Dom and Liv to piss off Rhea. Like, actually go on a date. But without Judgment Day seeing it. Like, he's doing stuff with Liv behind their back. Because he's only getting caught trying to get out of it right now. Because he fell in love with her in the middle of the match.
Yeah.
He did. So, okay. Let whatever happen. Let him go on a date next week where nobody knows but that random cameraman that's following him around. Then that gets back.
Yeah. But see, I was for it.
Well, we need Rhea and Liv at SummerSlam.
I get that. But my thought was this. There's only so many scenarios you can put these two in before it needs to be a payoff, right? And to me, I get where you're going with put them on a date, let them do this, let them do that, try to catch them
month
something.
away from SummerSlam. I could have gotten 2 more weeks before Rhea returned. And I would have probably been happy. All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, and that's fair. But to me, it's, okay, we crossed the border. We've teased that he loves. Yeah. Well, not that part, but we've teased finally that Dom is going to go for it. Despite what Carlito said about it being hard during the fucking.
Oh my God.
Like,
the innuendos.
The innuendo. Did we make it to Netflix already, people? But when we flip through and okay, now we're teased, it's happening, it's going to happen. Oh shit, mommy's back. It's the perfect time for me because now Dom is the torn fucking person in this whole thing. Like, oh shit, who I'm supposed to be in love with is here, but goddamn, my second head's telling me something totally different right now.
Yeah.
And now it's the perfect turn on this because when at SummerSlam, it happens that he turns on Rhea, it's going to be that big, fat fucking kiss that fucking flips it like on its head. And to that point, you saw the extra content after Raw, Liv watching through the curtain and getting that fucking cheesy ass smile on her face knowing I fucking won this and I have him in my back pocket now.
Let me ask you this, and I mean this, because this is going to be a tough sell. Everybody hates to love Dom, or everybody loves to hate Dom. Either way that you look at it, I meant it that way. On paper for WWE, I think they want Rhea to be the face.
Yeah.
I don't think they're getting that, because everybody's going to once Dom gets down and dirty because he initiates it with Liv, I think people are going to fucking pop and go crazy.
Yes. They're going to get Rhea face in the short term, Dom flips that switch and goes with Liv, you're absolutely right, because it's the Eddie Guerrero vibes all over again. This is the China incident.
Yeah.
This is him in China all over again with a different twist. Dom, we hated Dom with a fucking passion for it 5 years ago. And now he has everybody fucking, you dirtbag. This is the WWE scumbag.
It is. It really, that's exactly where my head, yes.
This is WWE's fucking scumbag. And people are gonna love him for it.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter, lie, cheat, or steal.
Mm-hmm.
Dom is, and has been built this way to be the next Eddie.
He has been, yeah. And he will be.
Baby Dom with his dad, we didn't like. He was untrained. Not that he was untrained, but he was untrained. He was too new. He was The Rock. Nobody liked The Rock when he first came out as Rocky Maivia.
Yeah. But they loved him sure shit when he hit the Nation of Domination and became the actual Rock.
Yeah. Hello. Jay and Gable, did you expect anything other than what happened in this match?
No. I mean, it's obvious that it's going to be, I assume it's obvious that it's going to be Uncle Howdy versus Gable at SummerSlam.
You would think.
Yeah. Jay Eated got out of there, and now we got another tape.
Are you good with the tapes? First, I like the build up to the tapes. I don't care what they do. I want more tapes. Can we change the narrative on the tape? I'll put it that way.
Well, I think they kind of did that this week, because if you look at it, now it was exposing all of the members. But to your point, tapes might not become as involved as they have been, because Bo showing up in Adam Pearce's office is a game changer among all.
Yeah.
Because now it's proof, besides the first week and obvious hints that he's there, it's proof he's in the building now. It's proof Uncle Howdy is there.
When Gable's taking a vacation, so all of them there next week?
Yeah.
Actually call out Gable and say, you're on vacation, yada, 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 you are for our first victim?
I think so. It's going to be Howdy's going to be on TV making the comments.
Yeah. And I think there will be tapes in every feud or call out, whatever you want to say, because I don't know if they're really feuds yet.
Yeah.
Right? But any call out here going forward for probably months. One
to two tapes, just to kind of say.
Yeah.
Gut check time.
Some of them may be footage that we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
To get them, whomever the next person is going to die, essentially, to the Wyatt Six. They'll release something about, say, Andrade. And I'm not saying it's Andrade, but da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, holy shit, you weren't supposed to see that. Da-da-da-da-da.
Well, I think next Monday's tape, there will be a tape next Monday. I think it'll be a targeted video at Gable versus a Wyatt Sick type video.
Yeah.
You've turned your back on your family. You've done this. You've done that.
Oh, we essentially just went through Raw, as I'm looking at our notes now.
We did. Yeah, we did.
So WWE was good to really good this week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were some moments. There were some moments that we were like, holy shit. But then there was like a moment where like, holy
shit. Yeah.
So, but I think it was a win overall for them. I really do.
I think they've been winning a lot over the past couple months. Because now they have a direction. They have a direction in a straight line forward. versus trying to tie off old regime to bring it forward. The direction's now clear.
Yeah. Ronda Rousey even said in a note that I posted earlier this week, she thinks Triple H is doing a good job. So take that as you want.
You know what? We appreciate that from her. Sarcastically.
Do you have anything else on WWE you want to talk about, or do you want to take a hot second and get to AEW?
Let's take a hot second, get to AEW, and replenish the supplies.
Hey, this is Mariah May, the glamour, but you knew that. And you're listening to Can Crushers.
Welcome back, everybody, to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. It's time for AEW, which kind of brought it this week. Especially on Wednesday.
Certainly.
We'll get there.
They had some nice stuff on Collision, too. You have to give them that.
Yeah, I do.
MJF, inbred and stupid. Danny's been gone for a while.
Well, Danny was not going to do too well after that tombstone off the fucking second rope. And, well, inbred and stupid, apparently the calling card is Buffalo for New Yorkers, so I don't know, but...
Calls Will Ospreay talentless hack.
I know him. Listen, I know it's baiting on that with the talentless hack, but is that used way too often?
Yes.
We know people are talented. They're favorites. They're not talentless hacks, but I think it's just a crutchy.
It's too much.
Bullshit.
I mean, if MJF wouldn't live his gimmick,
yeah,
I would imagine he would give Ospreay as much credit. Like, the talentless hack thing, it's overused. Mm-hmm. But it's, I don't know. Sometimes I think, man, does it cut? Because Ospreay knows that these are just words. These are just words, and it really stirs the pot. So us, as marks, can go, oh, he called the greatest wrestler in the world out right now. But we don't believe it, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
And, for me, I was just like, he's stupid. You know he's not. But again, to your point, it goaded us into having a conversation. Right. And us saying, this guy's so full of shit. It's stupid. And then, well, yeah, that's what he wanted you to think. That's what he wants you. That's how he wants to bait you.
Because this is all our fault.
It is all our fault.
We liked Swerve when he was gone, or we liked other wrestlers when he was gone. We shouldn't like anything but him.
We shouldn't like anything but him. And then we're celebrating these guys that are going out and committing crimes and doing shit and doing this and doing that.
Yeah. Daddy Magic comes on later on Collision and gives us a little, I don't even know if it was an update, but a teaser that when Danny comes back, Red Death is coming. What is Red Death, Sir Michael Jenks?
Outside of a Game of Thrones reference, I have no fucking clue. I believe. Does that mean he's just going to be bloodied all the time and just bring it?
Speaking of blood, holy blood all over AEW this week. And I probably loved it.
They loved the red. It was so much blood that I had Kimberly questioning and actually asking the question, do they test these guys before they get them in the ring and let them bleed everywhere?
True new wrestling fan.
Exactly. It's a legitimately new wrestling fan question. Yes, because they're going to be bleeding from pillar to post.
On each other.
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't yet brought to her attention, I mentioned to her about the Texas Death Match because they had to explain Hangman Page to her. I did not mention that in that match he was drinking Swerve's blood as it poured out of his forehead. Because there's lines that I'm like, well, if I'm going to keep you as a wrestling fan right now, I need to not cross that line yet.
Did you explain to her that said wrestlers cut themselves for blood?
We didn't get that far into the blade.
Okay.
We didn't get into... She's new. She understands it's a thing, but we didn't get that far into it yet. Okay. I think she understands that something's happening here, and it's not just, oh, I hit my head on a post, and now I'm cut.
Okay.
I think she knows it's there, but she doesn't know it's there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's us being children.
Exactly.
And I'm not knocking
that's
her.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's what we did as children of, oh my God, I can't believe a post made him bleed like that. Gush blood. Just doesn't happen.
We've grown up with it. So we put pieces together. She's a baby wrestling fan.
She is.
As a grown adult. So
she's in her infancy right now.
Yeah. She's still, holy shit, a post did that? There's times I wish I was still there.
Me too.
Jack Perry has a promo. He gives a title shot to anybody. Were you shocked that it was Marco's stunt?
I did not believe it was Marco. I was, where the fuck did he come from?
Tony Schiavone didn't even remember what year he was on last.
I agreed. I don't
either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. I also thought there was issues between Tony Khan and him and AEW.
I did too. Maybe this is a Jack. I'm not saying EVPs or anything. Maybe since they were so close to his hometown. I mean, they probably still are friends. Let's fourth wall it.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, let it be Marco tonight. Why can't it be? Because whomever I'm facing is getting decimated anyway.
I mean, they did it in the past with Copeland and Cardona.
Right.
So why not bring back somebody from Jack Perry's past? It makes sense.
It does. That even your past will get decimated.
Will be brought back. Yeah, we'll get decimated and brought back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
House of Black pretty much tells Christian it's not over yet. There's some other matches that whatever. Then we get to what leads to Wednesday. And if you haven't seen Collision or Dynamite yet, and you're like, well, sometimes these guys listen and they say Collision this, go to the main event and watch Hangman and Switchblade. My first note says, fuck, with like 3 extra U's. Blood brawling spots, Jeff Jarrett in the mix of it, which led to Wednesday. Holy Christ. This was a match. This was
a continuation of everything they've done in New Japan against each other. And this is just the next chapter unfolding. It just happened to be a semi-final match.
Right. I didn't expect this from this match on TV.
No, but when you look at the warpath that fucking Hangman is on right now, it doesn't matter if you're a Switchblade, a Swerve While You Drive blade, or a old guitar blade sitting out there. You're gonna get the fucking hammer brought down on you. Hangman's bringing a noose at this point.
I guess I didn't expect Hangman to have 3 matches like this in 10 days. I'll put it that way. I thought this was going to be the interruption match that Hangman does beat on Switchblade after the match to show the scenario that you're saying right there. But I thought there was going to be more bang, bang, gang being in the mix of it. So Switchblade, now I'm not saying he's buried, that he doesn't take this major loss or, the Acclaim comes out to get in the mix of it or something. I thought this was going to be, all right, Hangman can still be vicious and a dick, which we love, but it's not going to be as brutal and everything to give him a break in between the first match with Jeff and what's being led up to Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. But I think what we have been shown over the past several months is they're turning professional wrestling up on its head. What we think is conventional fucking storytelling will never be conventional again.
Touche. You're 100% right. Especially on AEW.
AEW and WWE's doing the same thing.
They are. They honestly,
not to the extent of AEWs, but they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's now becoming unpredictable again, and this is when it gets exciting because you're seeing Hangman going out in 7 days and just brutalizing and getting bloodied and fucking people up in 3 matches.
Yeah.
You're seeing things transpire where it's like, what the fuck are they allowing on TV and why are they doing it like this?
Note, this is also proving that Hangman is extremely healthy right now. There isn't any lingering anythings from him to be able to do shit that he's doing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. They're proving that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he's fucking good to go.
He's fine.
All right, let's go to Dynamite because there's so much to talk about on Dynamite. There really is so much to talk about. 2 hours is going to be rough for us to wrap it up in an hour, essentially. Ospreay heard the rumors about MJF, and I like the answer. You know, the callbacks to both. And we're getting the match next week already. I didn't think we were getting it this fast.
I thought they were going to hold off till Wembley, which is telling me, maybe we're getting a quick title drop and then a comeuppance match at Wembley. They're fucking selling the tickets. They're fucking bringing us. I didn't even know it was $250 next week, and as soon as they said it, I'm like, oh yeah, they would have to do something big for that, aren't they? And they're gonna burn the house fucking down with that.
They already said
it started
the show.
Starting the show.
Commercial free. Let's fucking go. Do I need to take Thursday off as well?
I'm locked fucking in right now.
Yeah. I'm not making a prediction, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way.
Yeah.
To lead it to another at Wembley. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new champ, if there's an old champ, if there's shenanigans. Just saying, I think it will tell, and this is going to sound generic, it will tell a story that if these two meet again in a month, in 6 months, for something bigger, this is going to be a story for a while.
Yes.
Top story.
Oh, 100%. This is going to be upper echelon story. Honestly, it's going to bleed into the world title picture at some point because there's going to be a lot of fucking turmoil and turnover right now in the next 3 to 6 months for that title.
Yeah. Everybody back healthy. One person back healthy, essentially.
Yeah.
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 Then they follow up this adorable package of those two just going at it on the mic with your first match of Danielson and Hangman.
When they said it was the men, when I saw Daniel Bryan come out, I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen in the women's, first of all? And second of all, I'm like, oh, you're just trying to get me to fucking lose my shit right out the gate.
I did.
I did too. I lost my shit as soon as Hangman came out the face tunnel because he's done nothing wrong in his eyes.
Right.
So why the fuck wouldn't I walk out this tunnel?
Right.
That hook, line, sinker sold me.
And
I'm in deep at this point. Like, I was in deep at that point anyways because it was Hangman Danielson 4. But I'm in deep now that Hangman's in the mindset of, I'm fucking doing nothing wrong here.
You know that age-old question that I ask all the time that I say another person's name? Is Hangman AEW's Randy Orton?
Yeah. Because it doesn't feel right until he walks through that curtain. Something's missing until Hangman's back.
And he never needs another title.
Because he can have a match with anyone under the sun, no matter who it is, it's going to be a banger. And the way his facial expressions, the mannerisms, and how he cuts a promo, he tells the fucking story beautifully through it all. That's what Orton does.
So, yes, he's a little bit older, but shouldn't we eat some crow and say he's more of a pillar than anybody else?
Probably.
I think so.
But we had the conversation 10 days before we remembered he was around.
Shame.
It's shameful that we forgot. Shameful that we forgot.
He's making us say, hey. And it's okay. Randy can take 18 months off. He comes back. Da-da-da-da-da. Randy instantly, whatever.
Yeah.
Hangman can take whatever he wants off. Da-da-da-da-da. He's ready to go, too.
Yep.
This match, though. Holy mother of buckets and Christ.
Yeah.
I didn't... Jenks, we both, from the beginning of the tournament, had Danielson winning.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if Danielson was going to win in the middle of this match.
Neither did I. And I even said to Kimberly Wednesday night, I'm like, if fucking Hangman wins this, I don't know what kind of fucking match you're going to have at Wembley.
I know.
Because after the death match, it's, fuck, you can't go back to a regular match.
Oh, we're not.
Oh, we never will.
But we're not.
Yeah, we're not.
Later on in the night, he goes to the EVPs and he's like, I'm in. But this was after.
For said, I'm in the Blood and Guts match for Team AEW.
Remember last week when I'm like, oh man, I don't know. It's going to be Team AEW against Team Elite, and is it going to do anything? I don't fucking care who else is in this match between these two.
These two are going to fucking just bloody it and make it something unfucking believable.
I'm ready for Blood and Guts. I don't know how they're putting it on regular TV.
I don't know either. They're going to try to kill each other.
If it's watered down, we're going to be so pissed. We're going to be so pissed.
Well, here's the thing. It's not going to be watered down. It can't be watered down. I mean, last year they had Moxley with a fucking bed of nails going to fucking town on himself. I'm going to call it now. There's going to be a fucking noose somehow involved in this match.
At some point, there's a belt being brought around all the time with Hangman.
Yep.
We're getting a leather strap match.
Or something.
Yeah.
Leather strap, yeah. This will be the leather strap match. It'll replace the dog collar match. They're going to fucking beat the shit out of each other.
So let me ask you. With probably, we just said MJF and Ospreay is going to be awesome for a while. Do we not get a new champion at All In?
Maybe not, or we get a Hangman interrupting the main event.
Oh, that's what yeah.
Danielson's trying to go for it, and Hangman fucking screws him over because he just takes out Swerve somehow.
This will never end. I'll put it this way. This will never end. But the path that we're on right now is leading to some strap dog collar. You're going to bleed more blood than you have in your body match.
Yeah. Hangman is the Wild West gunslinger that is out for fucking blood of an individual who has wronged him in his past. He is the classic Wild Wild West cowboy that is now on a fucking revenge tour.
And we want it all.
We do.
Hangman Red Redemption.
Oh, I like that.
I want you to go next on the Samoa Joe Jericho match. The Stadium Street Fight Stampede match that happened.
Well, I thought it was dull, not great, and I thought, well, why the fuck would they put a random wall backstage? More or less. The ending was cool, but the match itself to me was fucking not.
Was it?
What was that?
Was it as bad as Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No, that was at least entertaining.
Thank you.
That was entertaining. It was worse, but it was entertaining.
Match until we drove a forklift through the fakest wall that was built.
That should have never been built backstage.
Right.
Why the fuck? Yeah. It was built so they could hide stuff behind it? Get the fuck out of here.
We have horseshoes just to get slammed on. Wrap one around. I know you can't wrap a horseshoe around your hand.
You can hold it in your hand
and fucking punch them.
Yeah.
Right.
Shit. Duct tape one to your elbow and do a Judas effect. Or Judas, whatever the hell he's calling it. Judas.
And why did Dr. Sampson stop the match and not the ref?
When he wouldn't do it for Danielson when he was convulsing on the mat an hour earlier.
Right.
Like, is there a level of it because there was a motorized vehicle involved? Siri keeps coming on to my phone randomly. This is the second time it's done it in this segment. Is it because there was a motor vehicle involved, they have to call the match?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I also don't think. Call me out on this. Well, I don't think. I get it, drove them through the wall, but the way it ended, I don't think was actually part of what we saw happen. I think that was a pre-taped video of Joe just hanging underneath rubble.
Well, I agree, because as the cameraman was backing up to leave as the return of Colt Cabana.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Colt Cabana out of nowhere.
He's an agent now, or he's a hand backstage. As he was backing out of there, Joe was still not being mean or anything, in the fetal position, covering to go through the door on the pallet on the forklift.
Yeah.
The next shot, he's looking like I looked on, the night my mom passed after having some guys over, passed out against the wall. Like, he looked like he was on a bender.
Yeah.
Compared to, I just got run through a fucking wall, with air quotes, from a forklift. Wouldn't he be, dangling really close to the forklift? If he fell off.
I don't think he flew off.
No.
I don't think anything. He would be either on the forklift or just hanging off the side fuck, I just got wrecked. And I would say you would want to throw a little blood on there just to kind of sell the injury a little bit more. You're bleeding. The Red Cross has been on tap since the beginning of the show. So why would you not just get a little bit more of AB negative in there and just kind of put it out on the ground? Put it on Joe somewhere.
Yeah. The worst part of AEW this week was this.
100 down, yeah. The learning tree, I get it's catching, but it's not doing it continuity-wise.
You remember when I went to Buffalo and I was all about hi guys? They've lost me again. It was with the crowd.
With the crowd, it works. Without the crowd, it does not land.
Yeah, I hated it. The Global Glory match, by the way. Now we're just,
we got 4 guys hanging around.
From different countries.
Yeah, let's just fucking throw them into the Olympics are coming. Let's throw them into a match.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Fletcher, Pac, Ishii, and Claudio. This was crazy good, though. It was good, but stop with the Stop with the innuendos about, hey, look, we have people from everywhere. Everybody does. Just call it an international eliminator match.
Exactly. An international eliminator match. Keep it simple. Keep it interesting. Hell, even mention, hey, Paris is having some sort of games coming up.
Yeah. We're going to be moved to a different time sometime. Tell us then. Because Raw is getting moved for a few, like everything's going to be on different channels as soon as the Olympics starts. Raw's going to Sci-Fi, by the way. Raw and NXT.
It's always rough.
It is so rough. I have to remember those weeks, or they will not record. We will not have Raw those weeks.
I was going to say, I can't not even think of when the fucking Olympics start, to be honest.
The end of this month. I believe it's like the
21st
or something like that.
Okay.
We'll be. The dogs are pissed at the Olympics start.
The dogs are excited. Mom just walked in the door, so they're living their best lives right now.
Renee tries to get an interview with Hangman, and that's when he goes and tells the EVPs he's in. We're on to Mercedes having another party. I get it. I get why we're doing this segment. She could have just came out and talked to us. It didn't have to be dubbed another party. This one pissed me off. I'm like, you can't have another party. It's not, it's not your party. You can cry if you want to. And you knew what was going to happen.
Oh yeah, you knew Britt was going to come out. You knew she was going to beat up some security guards, and Mercedes was going to somehow run away in heels.
Right. By the way, she's maybe the best runner in heels.
She's got it down to a science at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how she's not falling at half the heels she wears.
I will say this to you then. I have no fucking idea. The beer is really kicking in now for both of us, especially in segment 3. I have no fucking idea what was happening after we come back from commercial with Brandon and Darby and all of that. Like,
yeah, that was fucking random.
Right? Like what?
Brandon's colored face, and he's on the ground, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Why? And then Darby Allin's there, and he doesn't say anything. He just says, EVPs, look out.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're in blood and guts? Does that mean you're just coming to say hi?
Right.
Having a drink, picnic, what?
Look out. Maybe it's like, hey, there's a car coming. Look out.
Look out. There's a hurricane coming through. I don't know.
I just did the Shane Helms pose, by the way. So did Jenks. Some more. Like, did Brandon say anything at all? Or was he just
he was just making noises because he wasn't feeling good. Because he got his ass kicked. That was about it.
All right. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
So Darby's on Team AEW. So far it's Darby and Swerve. Not that...
Briscoe.
In Briscoe.
Briscoe, yeah. So we got two crazy people and the world champion on one team.
Who is going to slide in there? Because it's Okada, it's Jack, and it's the Bucks, right?
I don't know if it's the Acclaimed. I don't think the Acclaimed fit in here anymore.
No, I don't either.
I think they find two other people.
Or 5-on-5.
It's 5-on-5.
So they have a mystery person yet. EVPs, right? That's right.
No.
They do.
No. They have 5. Don't they? Because it's them. It's
Matt, Nick, Jack, Okada, and Hangman. Okay, yeah.
That's 5, yeah.
They have 5.
So Team AEW needs 2 more. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the Acclaimed.
I would not want it to be Acclaimed now. There's way too much crazy on Team AEW. Like, I know it can't be Kingston because he just had his surgery, and props. Here's a beer to you. We forgot to mention that. Heal up soon. We love you, Eddie Kingston. Yada, yada, yada. But it's not going to be that crazy, Eddie. Who's sliding in? I think the Acclaim is, in your point, is a letdown now.
Yeah. Because of how far they've fallen. Now, if this is... Man, she must not have gotten out of the car yet. So... my thought is, are we just being led on and maybe Kenny is in good shape? But that'd be a hell of a first match to come back to is Blood and Guts, Kenny and Dakota Ibushi?
Maybe. That would I be alright with. Yeah.
Yeah. That would make sense.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't have many weeks, but we have
2. We have less than 2.
Then we get the women's Owen final. And listen, we predicted it for a long time. We didn't know how we were going to get here. I love the way we got here.
That was not in the bingo cards because it went. I've used this metaphor before, but it's 0 to 100. It
really is.
It's. We thought maybe they fight
out of
mentor versus mentee. They're cordial. Tony makes turn. Maybe Mariah turns at the losing it.
Right.
Not blood everywhere.
Fucking shoe in the hole that she cut herself.
And then the shoe in the hole that she cut herself, but then the incessant beating with the shoe. That first one, it hit and connected.
Yeah, because if you look at Tony's blood, it wasn't running then. I'll put it that way. So, which made me think, maybe it was a patch or some just smeared.
Dude.
You look at the end shot, and it's Austin-esque.
Oh yeah.
As we're leaving Dynamite, she fucking hit her more than once, Jenks.
You want to book the most villainous woman ever? That's how you do it. Monday night or on Wednesday night. Blood gushing from her head, leaving her just dead to the world at that point. The betrayal, the shock, the blood, everything. And the storied layers to tell about it. What has Tony told us from day one being timeless? Watch for the shoe.
Yep.
What didn't she watch for? The
shoe.
Fucking shoe.
Mariah was always just an apprentice. Just what's the word in theater?
Understudy.
Yes.
Mariah was never thought as an equal.
No.
Now, is Mariah's mindset of, I've always been an understudy and not an equal? Or is Mariah's mindset of, I've been just playing you until I can get my opportunity?
Clearly, we know the answer to that.
Yep.
This, not that I wasn't not buying All In, by the way. This match sold me on All In.
Yep.
If there was nothing else announced, you know how much it sold me on All In? I made a post literally an hour after I watched it and said, hey, don't forget your Owen Queen of the King, your Owen Hart winner, tournament winner, whatever the hell I wrote.
Yeah.
Was on Can Crushers about 2.5 years ago. I've been a Mariah fan forever. This is Jenks, the right person now.
Yep.
We love Britt. We love Hayter. We love Rosa. We love it. This is their own evolution.
Mm-hmm. This is their own taking what you thought was normal and flipping it on its goddamn head. taking what you thought you knew and who you thought was your pillars and knocking them all down.
Yeah.
Which I think shame on us for not understanding how big of a star you may have understood when you interviewed her. But when I say this...
They weren't portraying her as that, though.
They weren't.
That's why.
They brought her down a level. They made her that bumbling fool, that bumbling assistant understudy type thing who didn't know enough. And then in a snap of her fingers, after a 3 count, she turns into a fucking villainous
Bitch.
Bitch, ghoul, whatever you want to call her. She turned villainous in a heartbeat and dropped the dead weight like at a drop of the hat.
Even Luther.
Even Luther off the stage.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm not lying.
Owen title. She didn't hold it for 10 seconds before she took what is very prestigious, I believe, in the wrestling world because of what it means.
Yeah.
And just decimated her with it.
She took it and smeared blood across it and smeared the legacy that was being built with that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Stat and Stokely did come down mid-match, as we predicted. But get
out of here.
Yeah. You can have your... Not that. Willow and Stat later, but... Mariah solidified herself.
Yep.
I didn't expect that. I thought, like you just said, it was going to be, let's do this. Tony talked her into it. Hey, you're a good kid. I'll give you your match. Yada yada yada. Because we had Mariah winning it, but we thought it was going to be, just that match.
Right.
But maybe Mariah got a surprise victory or something. That whole storyline's out though. This is going to be a match. This is going to be a war.
Yep.
Thank you, Tony Khan.
Yeah, this is going to pull Timeless out of the Timeless loop.
Yeah. This week, does she go back to Rebel Rocker or something like that?
I don't think we see Tony Storm for 2 weeks.
Well, that's when she does come back.
When she does come back, I don't even think it's Rebel Rocker. I think it's just Tony Storm's on a fucking warpath. Whether that be Rebel Rocker music or that be just Tony Storm on a fucking warpath. Tony Storm will not be Timeless in 3 weeks.
Nice. She's done her thing.
Yep.
She's carried the division for as long as she has. With the amount of injury, and this isn't a knock on AEW, with the amount of injuries and young that they had to do, because we love Sky, we love Julia, we love but they're the next level. Yep. She is carried, and she knows it's time to go. Exactly. Not go away, but
she understands she no longer has to play the main person.
Randy Orton.
She could be the Randy Orton of the women's division. And I will say this as well. They now can start taking risks again.
Yeah.
Because the only risk they took while everybody was out was Tony Storm being Timeless. Now, they're going to start taking all the risks again.
Yeah.
I thought about this. I was thinking about our goals, and I just want to end on this note, and you can say what you want after this. I thought about what we said, and I thought about what I said. AEW's women's division would be better than WWE's women's division. Here's the fact of the matter. AEW is finally at full staff. WWE is cooking heavily. WWE won the first half of this year.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. AEW, though, now has a full deck of cards, and they can now move forward and challenge for that. So the next 6 months is a battle between the two women's brands to see who's going to actually take on and who's going to take off.
And you know what? I just got your chills sent to me because of that. No knock on the men. You've said the women have carried a lot recently.
Mm-hmm.
And to see both women companies doing hot shit and pseudo carrying stuff would be so awesome.
It would be. It would be.
Well, folks, the time has come to let you know. Next week, if you've been with us and this is your first episode, welcome aboard, by the way. This is how passionate we get. Next week, we will have a special for you.
Mm-hmm.
We've broken it down. We've thought about it. It's been announced, but we're definitely putting it in stone now. It will be our top themes.
Yeah.
Our worst hated themes. By the way, and I'm going to pull the curtain up a little bit. Have you done some homework?
I've done some homework. Have you?
Oh, I've forgotten a lot, Jenks, by the way.
There's some...
My horrible list. It's going to be, listen, I'll tell you right now, I have a top 5, but I'm bringing
more
bullets.
Well, I think we got to bring honorable mentions to this conversation.
Their honorable mentions are a litany. Let me just put it that way. I have forgotten some. We've mentioned the people's names on the show over the last couple of years, but I've then went down a track, and I've went down a bad track, and I'm like, oh my God, this one's worse than that one, and this one is... I have my 5 that I like. That was kind of easy.
Oh, it's the worst ones that are the worst fucking ones, aren't they?
And I'm like, man, that one's worse than this one. And as you get down that hole, you're like, this son of a bitch wants me to trim it to 5. I don't know if I can trim it to 5. Again, we'll fight
more.
for our 5, but we'll have more. I would love, and it won't happen because one, YouTube won't let us play them. Spotify will kick us off. I wish that we could play some of these. We can't because of just the whole, we don't own any of that shit. Jim Johnson would hate us. By the way, he's responsible for a lot of them. But just saying.
Spoilers, it's not Death Rebel.
No. Just be prepared next week. We thought, or at least I thought, all right, cool. We're going to give these guys short and sweet, maybe like an hour show of this. Jenks, I would clear your schedule the day that we're recording that because this could be bad.
This is going to be really bad.
But
there's going to be ones we haven't, great at the same time, yeah. But there's going to be ones I haven't thought of, you haven't thought of, that we're going to bring to the table and be like, ugh.
Yeah.
For fuck, that existed? That was a thing?
So be prepared for that next week. And if you haven't noticed, it's because, yes, we're taking a week off for a video game. Okay?
That's how we work.
That's how we work. We need a week off every once in a while. We're really not off. We're just giving you...
We're giving you different content.
Yeah, and it's not that we're not going to watch wrestling. We'll watch wrestling this week, and if something comes up, we will recap it, the following week or whatever. We'll get back around to something that may just say, oh my God.
Yeah.
But next week, be prepared. Our favorite and least favorite, or I don't know, best and worst themes or whatever we're going to call it. But it's all about theme music.
Yep.
The theme of the show is themes.
Themes. Straightforward.
Yeah.
You're
going to be shocked on one that I love. And it is a god-awful one. It's like nobody likes it but me. Nobody likes it but me.
Okay. All right. I think, I'm trying to look at what I have on my list. Nah, mine's not too surprising yet.
I will show you. And I don't want you to read them. Okay? But that's my favorites that I have to pick from.
Fair.
That's my worst. It's
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
It's longer.
Yeah, it's longer.
And it's going to be rough. Sun's home. Guns are out. So, all
Guns
right,
up.
Jake, I know what you're doing this week, so I don't need to ask. Max. So we're good to go. I love you. Go ahead. What do you have to say?
No, I said I know what you're doing this week, so love you too.
Yeah.
We got this.
We'll talk recording night, but then we'll also talk many other times throughout the week. Guys, if you haven't bought it or pre-ordered it yet, you still have time to pre-order to get some of the garbage that you get. But if you don't want to pre-order, buy it on Friday and join us. Not us, not on that day, but just join us in yourself playing EAW. Join us in playing EA College Sports 25. We are super excited that this has been something we've talked about for years.
Yep.
People at work were like, "You're taking a lot of Fridays off." I'm like, "Well, I don't on a fucking vacation." They're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, tomorrow I'm not doing anything." I said, "Me and my son might go to breakfast or lunch or something." They're like, "Oh, that's cute. That's nice. Your nice family day. You're already off next Friday." I said, "Oh, well, next Friday I'm going to bed as soon as I get home from work on Thursday, waking up at midnight, playing college football for a couple hours, going back to sleep, waking up Friday, and not doing anything until Monday when I come to work." They're like, "You're kidding. Do you want me to YouTube the whole fucking show?" Because I will show you for 72 straight hours, I am not leaving the podcast room.
I did say that to people at work. I'm like, I'm taking legitimately Friday off because I am playing NCAA football 2025, and I don't give a rat's ass what you people think.
Yeah, they're like, "Really? You're going to play?" I'm like, if I can figure a way to stay up, for 72 straight hours, legally, to play this. The next time Jenks and I convene to talk about wrestling, yes, we will compare how long we played.
Yep. We will.
Just throw that out there.
All I'm going to say is this is a great opportunity, advertisement for W.
It
That's all
is.
I'm going to say.
It is. If you need Dubby, by the way, and I have I'm down to one container right now. I'm back to Beach and Peach.
Okay.
I will be Wing it up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
No, I can't.
If you order right now, you may get it in by Friday, Jenks. Just saying.
That's true. I might.
And you use the promo code Can Crushers, you could even save 10% off of that.
Really?
Yeah.
I forgot that in the 2 hours we've been on here.
Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage can not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.
Whoop whoop.